They picked up Phelps, who was a Brazilian up-and-comer. They kicked him. They picked up Bolts. They kicked him. Everyone was saying to kick Taco, which was a mistake. They did anyways. And then Taco went on to join Liquid. Oh, are you doing it?
Yeah, no, I'm still listening.
Oh, okay.
This is a pretty boring run.
Okay. Why are you doing this?
It is fun. But it's not like... I like it because it's not big brain.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, they eventually kicked Taco. Because, so like, back then, support roles were a bit more defined than they are now. Because, like, Counter-Strike now, as far as roles goes, you have an opera, you have an in-game leader, and then you have a person who kind of just does whatever. All the players now are so good to the point where, like, anyone can hybrid whatever they want. Whereas, like, you know, 5 years ago, you had a support player, you had someone who you had a rifler, you had an entry fragger, blah blah blah. But like now, everyone is so good they can kind of do everything. Support players have historically always been trashed on for doing terribly, but they have a terrible job. So, if you look at Edward, if you look at Kiyoshima, you look at Taco, I'm trying to think of American support players. Probably Nothing. Well, Nothing was always good. Or, Nothing was always beloved. Either way, everyone in the community was like, kick Taco, Taco's trash, but like Taco wasn't trash. He was doing his job, and that's why SK were doing so well. Then they kicked Taco and they started doing worse. Taco went on to join Liquid, and they did really, really fucking well for a long time, and then he left Liquid, and he recently said in an interview that's the biggest mistake of his life. Because he went back to join the Brazilian team. And now MIBR imploded, and like the original core of Luminosity I don't think is around anymore. So.
That really sucks that like that kind of stupid beef is what broke it up.
Yeah, I don't remember Fallen, like, so Fallen was always kind of like literally the leader, but also like the mascot of Brazilian Counter-Strike. And there was
like just like the Ninja was the mascot for Fortnite?
No, he's literally the godfather of Brazilian Counter-Strike. Whether it's being like, yeah, being the OG guy, like being the person who kind of like picked himself up by his bootstraps and like funded his own team to a major and won, but like also encouraging the local Brazilian scene and like stuff like that. And now that he won a bunch of major money, when they won back-to-back majors and then all the tournaments they won. Because when I meant they won everything, they literally won everything. It was really boring to watch Counter-Strike in like 2016 and 2017 because you always knew who was going to win. It was Luminos. It was SK. But like, there was some drama with SK because like the actual organization SK was like not paying people, or like they were doing really shady shit. So they left SK and they went to MIBR, which was like an old school esports organization in like the early 2000s that kind of like died because no funding, and no more esports in Brazil really. So they brought that back with their heaps of money, and then I think they asked FNX. He's like, oh, you know, your old core of players from Luminosity are going to be bringing MIBR back to life. He's like, do you want to join it? He said, nah, it's going to be a shell of its former self. I don't want to encourage that. He's like, they're not going to go on to achieve anything. And he was right.
Do you think it's because he avoided it, though? Like, could he have helped that
FNX
situation?
no major. No, they started doing good because their problem was they kept the core the same because, you know, if it's the team that won 2 majors in a row and won all those tournaments, like, they're doing something right, obviously. But when they started having problems, they're like, okay, let's just swap out the 5th person 4 times, and, you know, we'll go from there. Because it's not one of us. Because Fallen was underperforming. Fur was inconsistent. Like the way the game was being played at that point, because around that time you have Astralis rising to the top, and Astralis winning, I think, 4 majors back to back or something ridiculous like that. It's still really funny to me. Yeah, around that time you had Astralis changing the way the game was played, like they were that big of a deal. And, you know, Fallen was still one of the best in-game leaders of all time, but Glaive completely changing the game didn't help. And they were just kind of stuck in their ways as far as strategy goes. And then also, everyone was just getting better. All the other teams were doing really well. And, like, you have Astralis, you had FaZe at one point being, like, a really good contender for the top. Na'Vi was always, for the most part, consistent, even when they kicked Zeus for a while. They were alright. G2 was random, like, you know, they were kind of the only good team for a while, but like everyone else still started becoming good. When they joined MIBR, they actually did the right thing. I think they kicked Taco permanently and then picked up a really controversial player who ended up being really good. But then there was some drama earlier this year, or like sometime last year, I don't remember, and then Fallen announced that he was stepping down, and then everyone in MIBR left, and now it's only like a bunch of Brazilian no-namers. Which is funny, because apparently they're doing really well right now.
That's nice to see that. Well, I don't know, that's a little weird.
The young blood doing better than the old school crew. No. I'm sure Brazilian Counter-Strike fans are really happy. Because their team had some upsets really recently. Because I remember seeing footage of MIBR, like, beating Liquid or something. I don't know, esports is so fast compared to regular sports, like the way team compositions change and like drama and shit. Like, there's some drama. Someone did an interview like 3 days ago, and now that team might not be around anymore because he said in an interview, he was talking about some team drama, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, we shouldn't have kicked this person, but we did, and here are the reasons why. And then that person posted on Twitter, he's like, you know, don't believe everything he says. And then everyone else who had been in that team in the past is like, yeah, don't believe everything he says. So now there's an internal investigation. Yeah, so that team might be completely disbanded for like harassment reasons, or like exploitation, like weird shit off of a tweet.
That is some wild shit. Look at me.
Why the burning magnesium tree?
Oh, there I am. That's me. Look, I'm by the rock.
Okay, so you're gonna kill this tank faster than you did this morning. So like it has a charge, and when it glows is like the best time?
It's like a rhythm game. If you get it perfect timing, then you can fire 3 shots quickly. Like without charging.
Okay. So it literally is the Gears of War reload.
I want to kill the first 2 waves of these guys. Wow, where'd he go? Oh. Sir? Well, that red circle around the crosshair means that whatever you're shooting at just gets hooked. Are you? Okay.
This is slightly more thrilling than it was earlier today.
Fuck.
Oh, look at that.
Cool.
How long?
I'm only a minute off of Kenny, I think. Considering this is like my 3rd or 4th time beating this, I'll take it.
ReZero?
Yeah.
Cool.